Good evening. Yes, we'll start with rugby and take a look at this for a textbook tackle by Ben Foden. It was his heroics which helped the Saints beat Harlequins by 20 points to 16. The first time the Saints have won at the Stoop in 6 years. Years ago, Court 2 used to be the graveyard for the top seeds. But this is the new Court 2. Even though two of the world's leading ladies have a date here today, they'll be hoping it won't end in disaster. Williams and Wozniacki, one a past master here, the other with plenty still to prove. Susie, good evening to you. Yes, many of the Saints fans making their way here tonight aren't particularly surprised that Jim Mallender is the bookies' favourite to be the new England manager. Why? Well, first of all, he came from the RFU back in 2007, but secondly, in that time, he has turned a club around from the slum and despond of relegation to the Championship to a Heineken Cup final in May. How much have you changed as a man and as a manager?
You come into it, I think you're very eager and you want to get there like in a second.
And the England captain Andrew Strauss has confirmed that the South African-born Jonathan Trott will bat at 3 in tomorrow's first test against the country of his birth. It's one position we do know, the rest is still unclear. When clerks of the course normally come to inspect ahead of a meeting, they take their stick and they go for a long walk. But after the weather we've been having, there's just no point. The interesting thing, though, about Formula 1 in Silverstone is that it barely makes the circuit any money at all. Instead of a result of this new deal they've done, they're looking to sell off their land, get more businesses on site, which in turn will generate more jobs. We've been given exclusive behind-the-scenes access with the circuit's managing director, Richard Phillips. So plenty in store on day 3, and Joe Drury is going to be part of the BBC's coverage. And Joe, so much excitement from a British perspective. We'll start with Andy Murray because, of course, he's going to be the first that everyone thinks about. Yeah. Can he go the whole way, do you think, this time? Has he got the mental nous to do it?
Well, do you know, it's the first time I felt he's been talking differently.
Tonight, a change in the contracts could be at stake. Look East understands one of their star prop forwards, Soani Tongaweya, has turned his back on a move to Saracens and will re-sign at Franklin's Gardens. Well, of course, big hits mean the potential of getting to the latter stages of a very important competition. Mark Tagg is the Northants chief executive. Mark, you're hoping you can go all the way this time instead of the semi-finals?
Yeah, it'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? After last year's great visit to the finals day, we want to go further, you're quite right.
Just tell us how big a money spinner 2020 cricket is for Northants.
It's huge now. For a small county like ourselves, this could be worth up to £500,000.
Thank you very much indeed. Good morning. England have taken the key wicket of Jacques Kallis in the first hour on day 2 of the first test against South Africa. James Anderson was the man who bagged the wicket. Paul Collingwood the catch, his third of the innings. He's 27, 6'3", 16 stone, and he's a real man, apparently.
That's the fibre in it. See all these little tiny fibres?
And without that, you wouldn't have a pitch.
That stabilises it.
And when the forwards come and rough it up with their rucks and balls and scrums, does your heart sink? Or?
No. All you can do is help nature. You can't force nature. That's one of the main things you've got to remember. You're just timing.
It's about being strong when it really counts. And that's the biggest area that I've improved this year.
So just how hard is it to receive a serve at 120 miles an hour? We've all seen it on television. Nino, you're Elena's coach. What is it like to face a serve that fast?
James, it's going to be really tough because the way Bally thinks, she thinks like a gladiator. So for her, it's her first strike.
No. When you're in that moment and you're in that position and you're facing serves at that kind of speed, what do you do?
Try and play little mind games with them where you're standing really kind of off to one side, or you stand really close, or you stand really far back. Try and pick it up as best as you can.
So guess, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So
if Northampton win tonight with a bonus point against Edinburgh, they'll be through to the quarter-finals of the Heineken Cup. And Cardiff could do them a favour if they beat French side Castres tonight as well. Training this week has been slightly more edgy than usual, even without the likes of Courtney Lawes and Chris Ashton both injured. But the rest of the players all want to right the wrongs of the past fortnight. James Burridge, BBC Look East at Franklin's Gardens.